Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
So it's called the AIM program, AIM. You know, we aim to do well. And people always say to me, gee, at your age, how come you do all these things and how are you so well? And I say, well, I've been on the AIM program and I don't really know, but I'll ask Roberta Hladek, who is the co-founder of Energetic Matrix Church of Consciousness, EMC Square. It's an energetic system, and everyone knows I have a lot of energy. So welcome to our show, Roberta.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, you know, it's funny. I got on once I guess I had read the book from, Stephen and Stephen Lewis, and that's after we talked a little bit, and then I was able to get on the program along with my wonderful husband and my dog. So why don't we see if other people would like to follow in my path? Tell us what the AIM program really is, what it does, and all about it.
Well, it's a pretty extraordinary thing, if I might say so myself. I've been involved with it for quite a while. And what the AIM program what AIM stands for is all-inclusive method. And what that means is back in the day when we started off with this technology, when I met Stephen in 1987, we were using drops or homeopathic tinctures. So you would come into the office and he would give you bottles of drops for whatever it was that he found that you were off balance in, using a machine that we call the QID or the QED. It's a quantum evaluation device. And it was a system that he devised, and it's a computerized system that tests you to see where are you off balance. And then wherever we're out of balance, then he would give us a remedy to balance that. Well, as time went on, we were able to computerize the whole thing. So now we can send energy to you, and you don't have to take time out of your day to come into the office or to travel across the country to come in or across the world to come in. You can have this available to you wherever you are, doesn't matter. And it runs 365 days a year. It never stops, and it constantly sends energy to you. So your first question is probably, what? How does that happen? How can you do this? I'm in Paris. How can you send it to me from Las Vegas? I don't understand. Well, if we go back and think about things, we're all energy fields. We're all like just a matrix of energy. And so when things happen to us, whether it's good or bad, whether we're happy or sad, our energy shifts. If we listen to music, sometimes music agitates us and we don't like it, or we move to a station on the radio of music that we do like and it puts us in a good mood. Or you remember a memory that you had that puts you in a balance of that memory. That was a fun time that you had. So those are all the ways that our energy shifts and changes. Well, with the AIM program, we were able to take all of these energies, good and bad and indifferent, and put them into a system. When I say bad, I mean colds, flus, viruses, hereditary dispositions for heart disease, diabetes, cancers, those kind of things. This is all energy, whether it's positive or negative, it's energy. So we're able to transmit that energy to our energetic field, which is our photograph. Our photograph holds our energy. And if you can remember back, if you read National Geographic when you were in school, or maybe even recently you checked it out at the library or whatever, the Aborigines always used to say they didn't want their photograph taken because it stole their energy. Well, they were right.
I remember that.
They were right, because your energy is in that photograph. I can take a picture of you, Anita, and I can take it from when you were a baby, and I can pick up what's going on with you today.
Really?
Because your energy is held in that photograph. So we take the photograph and we digitize it into a small photograph, and we put it on these sheets and we put them on the trays that are in our tray room, which if you go to our website at aimprogram.com and watch the video, I show you the pictures and I show you the trays and how they work. And we transmit the energy to these silver trays, and the trays vibrate with the same energy coming from the computer. So then you think, I can't possibly take in all those energies. I mean, that's like bombarding me with all this stuff. Well, inside each one of us, we know what's going on with us. We really do. We know we're pretty smart inside. We know where we're off, and we know when we're on. It's just like when you're taking vitamins. I don't know if this has happened to you, but it's happened to me several times. I'll be taking vitamins, and then all of a sudden I just forget to take them. And it's like day after day I go, gosh, I forgot to take that vitamin again. To me, it's my body telling me, hold up, I've had enough of them. Give me a break.
Oh.
So then I stop for a little while, and then all of a sudden I go, gosh, I need to start taking those vitamin Bs or whatever it was that I was taking. And then I start taking them again. For me, that's the way I kind of think of it, is that my body's telling me I don't need them, so don't take them. So then I don't. Well, the frequencies on the trays are the same way. We're being sent all of these frequencies, unconditional love and pride and courage and all these other new affirmations, plus the anti-aging frequencies, plus the colds and flus, and then all the other stuff is coming. But we don't need it all, and we can't possibly take that all in. We just pick what we need at the time we need it. So maybe today I woke up with this sinus thing. I guess it's allergies. We've got some wind going on. So I'm probably picking some allergy frequencies to try and help me get past that. So you might be picking up on something else that you need. So we're all different. We're all accepting the energies that we need for ourselves to get us through the day. And that's basically how it works.
So you've just been listening to Roberta Hladek. That's Hladek, Hladek. And, of course, we know her as the co-founder of this AIM program. Now, let me just say, Roberta, as you were talking about that, well, let me just tell how people can get on it. I want you to get on there. Look at the website. Look at the descriptions that Roberta was talking about. You can actually see how your photo, when you send your photograph, that's how when you join, you send your photograph of you, or you have a family plan, and you'll see what they do with it and what goes on. You ought to keep up. I'm sure it keeps changing, so go to their website. Well, in the meantime, though, I do want to say that I've now had blood pressure problems. I don't know if it's from politics or what, but I've had blood pressure problems. And nothing would do, but the doctor said, it's way too high. I want you to get on pills, which I have, and which has gotten lower. Now, can you see anything on my chart about my blood pressure? I mean, and I know you're busy on this show right now, but would it show something going on?
Well, what I would do is there's different screens that I would have to check. First, I would check overall and see if there's something that you're balancing today, cold, flu, whatever. Then I would check and see hereditarily, is there something that you're clearing hereditarily? What we mean by that is a hereditary disposition that's been passed down from generations in your family lineage. So it could be that maybe somebody back in, grandparents, maybe great-grandparents, maybe parents had some type of issue with blood pressure. So then I would check and see what hereditary things are going on, find those, and then check and make sure there's nothing in you that's not in my database. And if there is, then I got to find out what that is. Now, if all that comes up and I don't see anything that kind of gives me a red flag that might be attributing to your issue, then I would go and check specifically for high blood pressure. And if it shows that, then find out what is causing your high blood pressure and go from there.
Fantastic.
So it's kind of a little, I have to kind of put pieces of the puzzle together.
Right.
It's kind of searching for a needle in a haystack kind of thing.
Wow. That's perfect, Roberta. Is there any other organization that does what you can do?
That I don't think so. I try to keep up on anything new when participants say, hey, have you heard of? I try to investigate. We try to investigate here in the office what it is, and our facilitators kind of keep me up to date, too, if there's something that they hear of. But I haven't heard of anything recently.
Huh. because it is unique and it is incredible. And I know you have thousands of people on the AIM program. And in fact, when I know when Stephen was alive, he would tell us some of the famous people, Wayne Dyer and other people who found this and they were on it. And of course, the other people say, well, how can I, if the organization's in Las Vegas, what do I do? Well, why don't you explain about all your facilitators?
We have facilitators worldwide. We have a lot in the United States, of course, and then we also have them out and about in Denmark, and we have some in France. We have England, Australia. So we have facilitators pretty much all over, but at this point in time, because everybody does everything through the internet and texting and all this other stuff, we can give you a facilitator to help you out and answer your questions from wherever. It doesn't matter. You don't have to have one that's right in your backyard. So it's pretty easy. The facilitator is kind of a liaison between us and you, and they help you out with any questions that you have, any questions you have regarding the application, about the program, how you're feeling. They give you their take on how they've done and can give you stories and all sorts of things. They're a wealth of information.
Well, we're very fortunate here in South Florida to have Colleen Haney, who is a magnificent woman, and she's still one of your facilitators?
Absolutely,
yes.
She is.
She is superb, and so you can definitely, when you get to aimprogram.com, you can, and you live in Boca or anywhere here in South Florida. Do you have others besides Colleen here in South Florida?
We've got quite a few in Florida, yeah.
Okay. Well, they can contact your organization, and then you can be directed to whomever is close to you. But I would just give high marks to Colleen Haney. She's very special. So she's someone that would know what's going on with you, follow up with the headquarters in Las Vegas, and then she does other things too. She's a woman, a real Renaissance woman, and she's so kind, and I just like her so much. Have you met her?
I have met her. It's been a long time ago. We I used to travel a bit, and then we had a meeting with all the facilitators a few times when we were in California. Mm-hmm. So it's been a long time ago, though.
So she's terrific, and I do enjoy her. Well, let's do this, too, because I know a lot of people love their pets. And I know when Stephen had a cat, his cat is no longer living, or do you have any animals?
We have our office cat, Hazel.
Oh.
And then Stephen's other half still has his 2 cats.
Okay.
So
we put them on our AIM program. And I have to say that besides the AIM program, I've been giving Charlie our our Shih Tzu. He has some rear leg problems when we befriended him. And I've been giving him CBD oil. And let me tell you, and I know I owe you, and I'm sorry. I've just been so overwhelmed with something, and I do need to send you that, and I'm writing that down right now for me. But anyway.
No worries.
He is amazing. His legs are better, and I think I said something. When we befriended him, he had half a tail of fur, and half was like a rat. Aww. And now that he's taking this, he's got all the fur back.
Oh.
So it's got to be that. I don't know what else it could be, because I've had him for almost 3 years.
Aww.
Right. So one man, when I told him, he said, well, you mean it's going to help me grow hair in my head? I said, no, I won't go that far. I have no idea. What it does, it finds the things that you need in it, and it works on it. But anyway, let's go back to the animal situation. So when people join, many times they include their dog, right? Mm-hmm. Or cat.
Yeah, for sure. We have several animals, different types of animals on the program.
And can you see anything when they come on the program? Is there like a score like you give us?
Well, we do check life force, and the animals are always higher than us.
Really?
Yeah, and I think it's because our animals don't get involved in what's going on in the world today. They don't worry about those kind of things. Their whole thing is us. You know, how they're so happy to see us, and they're just happy.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what they're more concerned with. So their life forces are usually in the high 90s, whereas a new person coming on, their life force is usually below 0, unfortunately.
Right. Well, when I came on, it was 0, and I thought I was had pretty strong vibes, but it went up pretty fast. But so people start there, but then by what you do with them, then it helps them go up, doesn't it?
Absolutely. As we clear out these hereditary dispositions, things that have been passed down from our families, then our life force tends to rise and it jumps up. And our maximum is 100, or the optimum that we want to be at. So it doesn't take that long. It takes usually, I'm finding, about 11 to 12 months for us to clear out all that stuff and get to 100. And then from that point on, we're just clearing the things that come up in us that have been added to the database, or something that maybe wasn't as extreme in our bodies, because it's kind of a hierarchy. We're going to clear the things that are needing to be cleared first, and then the things that aren't so big, then those will go last.
Now, I used to have asthma frequently. It actually came from cats and certain kind of dogs and animals, but for a lot of things. And I don't have it anymore, only if I would go to a home that has cats. But I had it for other reasons, too. It wasn't a real serious case, but I knew I had it. I haven't had to use that spray for at least a year.
Oh, that's
So
great.
it's been wonderful. I attribute so much of this. I mean, what else could I attribute it to? As I'm growing older, I'm getting better.
Well, there you go. And that's what it should be, because we are living longer, so don't we want to live the best we can living longer? I want to live and be able to do a lot of things and to be healthy and happy when I'm in my older age, too. So, and I see my mom. She turned 90 this past year. She'll be 91 in March.
Oh, my.
And she, still drives and does everything that she's supposed to do, and she goes out for lunch every day with her girlfriends, and she swims an hour a day. And
no way. She swims where does she live?
She lives in Surprise, Arizona.
Surprise, Arizona? An hour a day?
Yep.
No wonder she's in such good shape. Has she always been a swimmer?
She's always been really active, but we lived in Minnesota, so
right, I don't think so.
And then when we moved to California, she always swam with us, and then and now they have a pool in the community that she lives in, and they have a pool ladies, they call them, and they have a luncheon every week, and they all go up and swim every day, and then they meet, I think it's once a week or once a month, something like that, and they all get together for lunch and chit-chat.
That is really special. I wasn't aware of that. Now, let me ask you this. Did I ever send you my book, Live to be 100 Plus?
No.
I'm putting it on my note right now. I will be sending that to you soon as I get back to my office. And, I wrote that in 1992 because I always believed that was going to happen.
Absolutely.
So, you're on track. You're really on track. Let's continue with this. Now, I think we ought to talk about what you do with people who have certain challenges, too, that you know that they have challenges, such as autism and Down syndrome, because I think that's a wonderful thing, and the fact that you're actually seeing improvement.
Absolutely. We do have an autism program and a Down syndrome program for participants that have these two challenges. And parents or guardians that want to put them on the program, we also give the parent or guardian, one of the parents or guardians, a 50% discount to come on with the child or the adult. And that's because we want them to experience the program and be able to help the participant out as well. And it's just a good way to keep the family together. And so we do that. A lot of families, we had this one family who they put their daughter on who was she had Down syndrome as a child. She was about 4, I guess, when she came on. And the dad was so impressed with her, the way she was changing, that he went and put the whole family on. At first he was a bit skeptical.
Sure.
And but he wanted to see if it would help her. They were trying to do anything like any parent would,
of course,
trying to help their child to live the best life that she could. And he said, she was doing so well that he had to put the rest of the family on. So the whole family went on. And with autism, too, we have some fabulous stories. If you go to our website and read the testimonials, there's some amazing stories of adults and children that are on the autism program. Some of them write their own notes because it is a free program, but we do require 4 reports a year each quarter. We want to hear how you're doing, how the participant is doing. And if it's a parent writing for the participant, what do you see in them? What has changed? Just to give us an idea, and it kind of gives me a report card. I want to see how I'm doing. Am I finding, is there something that I need to look at in this child or adult that would help them? Because when I put that frequency on the tray, it's going to help all of us too. One time we found this frequency in one of our autistic participants. The parent called in and said that the son was having some emotional issues. So we checked him, put the frequency on, and before we knew it, we were getting lots of facilitators asking us about this one frequency. And we have a facilitator call once a week, or once every couple of weeks. And the facilitator was saying, what is with this frequency? Because I'm getting so many people telling me their blood pressure is fluctuating. It's going down, it's moving around, it normally doesn't. A lot of blood pressure participants, they check their blood pressure all the time, of course, and then alter their meds. And so we only attribute it to that one frequency. So you think that frequency is just for someone with autism? No. It's for everybody, and it affects us all differently. So it might affect one person in their blood pressure. It might be another person with muscle aches. It could be somebody else with their thyroid. I mean, it could go all over. We just never know.
Amazing. Well, now that was a very good story. I wasn't aware of that. But that makes sense because you can't go into every tray every minute. So this way, your frequency just goes to everybody, and if they need it, they get to have it. If they don't use it.
Exactly.
It's great. Now, we haven't even discussed cancer, and I think it's important because that's how I first met Stephen. And what happened with someone who had cancer that they had given up. I think she had 4 months to live or something. And apparently, in the book that he wrote, it was something happened that she got better.
Yes, that was a combination of participants that we used for the book, and that used to be a pretty common occurrence that we would see people come into the office and mention that they were battling that particular challenge, or they had just found out different things like that, and they wanted to come in and try this as well with whatever else they were doing. And Stephen used to always tell them, don't stop what you're doing, just continue and do this too. And a lot of people, it helped a lot of people. And I can't say that we're 100% because it depends on each one of us individually. And I kind of think we all have a path in life. And when we follow that path, whatever it is, it's going to do whatever it does. And it's already preset, sort of, I think, for us. So, but it's good to do whatever you can to make the best of the time that we have.
That's well said, Roberta. My guest is Roberta Hladek, who is the co-founder of the Energetic Matrix Church of Consciousness, which we refer to as EMC squared because that's energy. We know that was what Einstein named. And energeticmatrix.com, you can get on the website with that, or aim.com. And I really do suggest that you do this. It's something, it's been around now for how many years?
Well, we are having our 20-year anniversary this year.
Really? 20th anniversary. Mm-hmm. And you wouldn't be around that long if it weren't valuable and worthwhile and real. You know that.
For sure. That's true. Very true.
So how are you going to celebrate?
We haven't even thought of that. I mean, it's like every day it's like 20 years. Okay. I mean, I just keep on going, I guess. I didn't really think about it. Sometimes I marvel at Stephen's vision. that he had so many years ago, because I think 20 years ago people thought we were wacko.
Oh, right. I remember.
We had this one friend of ours that used to call him Dr. Lulu.
Oh, no.
Because he was, when he was practicing at
Right.
that time, and he used to think we were loony, but he loved what we did, and he used to come in all the time, and then with Steve's last name is Lewis, he would call him Dr. Lulu.
Oh, that's funny. Well, actually, I didn't think he was that way. I never thought it was a woo-woo thing, because I had taken, in 1972, I took a course on energy, and it was a very long course on energy, and I learned so much about this. So I knew that there was something out there, and this was just an added way, and I was excited to be a part of it. So I'm really happy that that I've become a part of it too. Thank you. I think that we now are just being asked that we change. We can't continue, Roberta, but thank you, and I'm going to promise I'll send the CBD information and your book, Live to Be 100 Plus.
I'd love it.
I'll get it for you.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you so much again. Have a great,
you're welcome.
wonderful time till I talk to you again.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks, Roberta. Bye.
Bye-bye.